Hi everyone, it's Clarke Singer, head coach of the Western Mustang men's hockey team. Welcome to Mustang Rewind. We're prepping here for the game against Concordia, our OUA bronze medal game with a trip to the U Sport Nationals on the line. Concordia has been one of the top teams in the East Conference all year, lost a very close series in the OUA East Conference final and traveled down yesterday to London to prepare for our game. Everything on the line here. We come up just short in this game last year, the bronze medal game against Carleton and Ottawa. We're really happy to play here Saturday at 3 o'clock again with a chance to go to the Nationals on the line.
Matinee matchup between the Western Mustangs and the Concordia Stingers. The Stingers coming from that OUA East Division, taking down the number 1 seed in Carleton, number 4 seed in McGill. Going down though to Ottawa as they rolled into Concordia just a week ago, beat them 7-2 in what was the deciding game. On the other side, the Western Mustangs took it all the way to 3 with the Guelph Griffins, a heartbreaking 4-3 defeat just last Sunday. So myself, Rob Fleming, alongside Spencer Long for today's coverage on MTV, and we are underway here. Spencer, this Western team obviously going to look to the physical aspect against this undersized Concordia team. You got a couple quick keys for us as we were talking prior. This Western team really going to have to establish the physical element early.
They do, without a doubt. That's their game. They got to know that every time Concordia gets the puck, they got to be right on top of them every time. And then another one has to be they got to limit the shot attempts. Last week against Guelph in that Game 3 loss, they were outshot 32-17. In the end, it really paid off for Guelph. Western went into the third with a lead, came up, they let up 3 goals. Tough loss. It was a tough one on the road.
Well, goaltender Parasini can only shoulder the load for so long. He's been spectacular all playoffs, and today he's going to be in tough against this Concordia team. Very high-powered offense, as you would expect throughout that whole East Division. The kind of French component of that is a lot of these guys coming from the QMJHL. Spencer, you got a couple quick keys for us for the Stingers this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. They got to come out hard. They got to be fast. They got to use their speed and their advantage offensively to just get shots and wear Western down offensively. You just hope that long bus ride in from Montreal, they don't have heavy legs. They're ready to come out hot. They got to limit Western shots attempt as well. They got a rookie freshman goalie in there and they do not want to make him play on an island today. Western's going to come out hot. They want this. Both teams want this badly. It should be a heck of a battle.
So the goaltending battle this afternoon, the aforementioned Luke Parasini will get his 10th start now of the playoffs. And then in goal for the Stingers, Kyle Jesseman, the first year, 4-3-0 in these playoffs. Of course, his last 2 starts both ending in losses to Ottawa. So he will look to rebound today. And of course, the winner of this game this afternoon gets the 3rd OUA berth into the Nationals. So those will be held in Halifax just in a couple weeks' time. Western, of course, pushing for their first national berth since 08-09. So this is a big game for both teams, but Clarke Singer just a little bit of an extra tie to today's matchup. As right after it are the Stingers. Back to play to Osmanski. Found Morrison. His quick tip found its way onto the stick of Beauchamp, who will send it right back into Osmanski. Osmanski will double back as he finds his D partner in Zachary Kaur. Tried to send it up ice for Morrison. Was not able to get a stick on it there. So that will go for our first icing. Just under 2 minutes played. Looking as if Concordia a little bit in the driver's seat already, Spencer.
Yeah, they do. Western really hasn't got anything going yet. I mean, we're only 2 minutes into this game, still lots of time, but right now Concordia seems like they're kind of holding the puck for longer. They're dominating it, but let's see what Western can do.
Well, just as you said, they had to come out hot, wanting to silence this Western crowd. They've been spectacular at home, have these Mustangs 3-0 in the playoffs in this building. So a big one for them this afternoon on home ice. Big block there on the shot. That was Osmanski off the stick of Lalonde.
Osmanski's hurt. He's down.
Now on to Katarnakis. And indeed, Spencer Osmanski taking that slapper from Lalonde in on the laces. So
that looked like it might have got him in the ankles. It was right on the front. That has got to hurt. But you know, big game, you got to sacrifice the body. That was a good shot block, but, you know, sometimes it happens. Hopefully he'll be okay. Just a little bit of a stinger, but.
Well, Osmanski, a big piece of this team, scored a crucial goal in that victory against the Griffins in this building just a weekend ago. That was the Saturday night game, so he will hop up onto his feet, potentially just a stinger there.
Yeah.
That would be a critical loss for this team. Of course, Osmanski, the Buffalo Sabre pick in 2016, so that is a big, crucial component of this Western team, not wanting to lose him. Good to see that he's back up on 2 feet.
Yeah.
Corbriel back to pick it up for the Stingers, and that will be blown down for the icing again. And drawing back into the lineup this afternoon, Spencer, is Mitchell Fitzmaurice. Has only played a couple games in this playoff so far, so good to see him back in alongside this scoring line here, as is Kyle Langdon back in the lineup after what looked like a season-ending injury when he took a massive hit at center ice just a few games ago. Hauled down in front was Langdon. That was Zorn. Looks like he's going to take a high sticking penalty here.
That.
So here it is again, Spencer. That shot coming through, and Langdon just on the wrong end of Zachary Zorn's stick. Zorn, the native of Northwest Territories, born in Yellowknife in his second year with the team here in Concordia.
This is what you want if you're Western. I mean, look, Concordia, they've been dominating the game thus far. You get a nice power play here. It could really change the start of this game with Montgomery with 4 power play goals. Let's see if Western can get something going here.
Yeah, so this Western power play, especially the first unit, as you said, with Montgomery has been lethal. They just park him right out front. And just as you said, cleaned up 4 power play markers so far in the playoffs, had 5 on the year, and actually leads the entire league in playoff markers, power play playoff markers at the moment. Back to the point, that'll go to Zapula. Leaving there for Spaviro. On to Zapula again. Found James across ice. Had the empty cage to shoot at. Couldn't find it. As beautiful feed from Ethan Zapula, and Cordell James with the entire 4x6 to shoot at. Could not capitalize. Now back the other end. Good defensive play there from Zapula, as it looked as if Beaulieu was in alone, and another shot from Zapula. Good stop there from Jessamine, as he had to be sharp. Now out come the Stingers. It's Lauzon. Tried to dangle there through Spaviro, hit his skate, but into the corner as Lauzon will corral, and on to Desrocher. Desrocher leaving there for the captain, Bechtel. Bechtel will just lug the mail himself up through center and leaves on for Kenny Huther. Huther in. Look to shoot, will delay instead. Tried to go for the hard rim. The only player there was in red and yellow, and that was Katernakis to clear that 200 feet. Just 16 seconds now remaining in the penalty to Zorn. Bechtel in, looking to shoot just off the post. Now on for Desrocher. Zorn, 5 seconds left in his penalty. Stefano, Huther, shot. No bodies in front there, as Olenek tried to get a stick on that, but right into the midsection of Jessamine. So pretty good power play there for the Mustangs.
Definitely some promising attempts there. Just, that post, that could have really changed the start of this game, but a good rush in here by Huther. Rips it right off the iron into the corner. Good attempt.
Yeah, good to see the captain Bechtel doing it with his feet there. He can skate. This potentially his last game as a Mustang, so of course he does not want to go home, and would be his first national berth, especially as the captain of this team. He's been a crucial leader all year long. This a big of game as any for him. Back to the point. Shot right on, blockered away by Parasini. Trying to wrap it around was Beauchamp, but covered up again by Parasini. As you see this Concordia team coming in waves right now, and Luke Parasini had to be sharp.
Sure did. He's been good so far.
In to take this draw will be Montgomery, back out there with his line of Spaviro and Zapulia. See Osmanski taking his first steps back onto the ice after that big block, so good to see he's all right. As left there for Lauzon, shot on from Harwell, that hit a skate. Now it's Neal. Neal trying to send it around the wall. It will get eventually to Lauzon, looking for reinforcements. Instead had his pocket picked. As now it's out to Lauzon again. Left there for Neal, he couldn't handle it. Battle comes out to Lauzon again, and finally cleared out there by Zapula. Foot race won by the likes of Neal. As it's on to Beaulieu, goes backhand, centers, and they score! Broken play, ends up in the back of the net. As Beaulieu didn't even try to center that, Spencer. Looked like he tried to go backhand, and out to clean up in front was Chase Harwell.
Yeah, just Western was out of position on that one. That's tough. That was a good goal, but...
Well, you see the 2-on-1 at the net, as it was Beaulieu tried to go to the backhand and just kind of trickled out in front. No chance for Parasini. He was playing shot, and Chase Harwell just tapping that one home into the empty cage. So only 6 minutes into this game. Up go the Stingers. If you are the Mustangs, that is not what you wanted, and exactly as these Stingers drew it up, silencing the crowd early.
Yeah, absolutely. They Western's just got to keep playing their game. They got to be physical. If they play their game, they got a really good shot at winning this one. Right now, they just look out of place. It looks like Concordia just wants it more. They're just dominating play.
Desrocher, the D-man, all the way at the opposing blue line. He will send that down, as played in behind by Jessamine, was covered heavily by Morrison, but Concordia able to break it out. Olenek, his pass off the mark, ended up on the stick of goaltender Parasini. Desrocher will go to his D partner into Carlo. He'll send that up ice. Nobody in white there to pick it up, though, as instead it was picked off by Leclerc. Desrocher with it again. Desrocher sent up for Huther, as his just touch goes on to Kyle Pettit. Pettit center. That's Stefano going hard to the net. Could not find it with his stick. Now it's Sanch. Good job by DeCarlo to keep that in. As Pettit, heavy contact. We saw a lot of physical from Kyle Pettit just a game ago against the Guelph Griffins. Looks like a man possessed, really, Spencer, as a different game. Not what we've come to expect of Kyle Pettit. Still playing those responsible minutes, but just looks like he's a little bit more engaged. Has 3 goals now in these playoffs, and he has been as big as any player on this Western roster in these 9 games that this team has had so far in the playoff push.
He really has. He's been using that body. Hasn't been his game for most of the season, but as you say, the last few games, it's noticeable, and it's made a big difference. I think it's, helped rejuvenate this Western team. They see big guys like that making big hits. Western just got to use that body. They look like a bigger team out there. Just got to wear Concordia down.
Well, we know Pettit has had at least a couple shoulder surgeries, so just to see him making contact has to be a big pump up for the rest of his team. Hasn't been his game in his first couple years here with the Mustangs, but good to see that he's adding an element to his toolbox, and it has been highly effective so far in these first 9 games. Stravero tried to center for Zapula, was picked off there by Gosselin. On for Beaulieu. Beaulieu leaving, Gosselin shooting, didn't miss by much, tried to go high glove on Parasini, just out of his reach, but missed high. Now it's Zapula in, centering for Core. Good job by Core to jump up in the rush there, as he's been another guy showing some encouraging signs, getting involved in the offense, and has been one of the biggest contributors to the physical game of the Mustangs. Olenek with it now. Tried to center off the stick of Bilodeau, as it's in behind the Concordia goal. Out come the Stingers. Leclerc leaving for Beaulieu. Looked like the Olenek stick got up into his facial area, but we will continue. as James will shoot that in. Looks like these Mustang forecheckers just getting a tad tired here, as it'll be Morrison into pressure. Good job there. Just a quick little touch from Corbio, and out come the Stingers. Tried to go inside out, found it on the other side of them. That was Granary. As now it's back to the point. Tried to center for Corbio. Olenek, no gas left in the tank as he just tried to get that over center, and Western will get a full change. And behind it's Bilodeau. Bilodeau going to skate it over center and drop for Leclerc. Leclerc shot on. Looked like it went in from here just off the outside of the net. Pettit up the wall for Huther as Tessink will find it and fire it back in for the Stingers. Bit of a ping pong battle here through center, Spencer, as no team able to really gain a whole lot of control. A bit of a neutral zone battle as Kenny Huther just south of the red line, and will send that in on the icing.
Yeah, it is. It's it's a battle in between these neutral zones for both these teams. They gotta, they're fighting out there. No team looks like Concordia has a little bit of an edge so far this game as far as puck possession, but no team is outright dominating. Just if you're Western, just got to keep playing to your keys to the game, wear them down.
Well, you talked at the top of the show about just limiting time and space for this Concordia team. A lot of talent, certainly everybody on this roster. A very, what I would say, exceptional skater, all picked because they can wheel the puck. Western maybe a little bit lacking in that regard comparatively. So just as we said, every single time a body in red and yellow has the puck, we need a Western body right on top of them. And so far, Western has done just okay in that regard.
You're right. Yeah, that was a good little rush by Stefano there. Let's put the puck back in there and let's get a fresh. And here we're looking at Concordia's chance.
Yeah, that was the goal where Highland, Beaulieu centering for Harwell. And you just see Spencer. Yeah, I was actually trying to go backhand, lost the handle, and luckily Chase Harwell parked in the right spot to clean it up. So that first goal, maybe a little bit fluky.
Yeah, it definitely looked that way. Western just looked a little bit out of position, but it was a tough one.
Concordia certainly numbers at the net there, and it made all the difference. Lugging it out, it's Duant. He fell, and there will be a penalty call here. The Western faithful not liking it. I believe it's going to be Core, but we will have to see. And it will actually be Osmanski, so makes the big block earlier in this game, comes back in. Looked like he was going to take a big rush there, and there it is again.
It didn't look like much, but I mean, I guess, hey, Stripes thinks it is, then I guess it is. Big penalty kill here for the Stangs.
So just as this Stinger team going up a goal, they will get another chance to add to that lead. And just under 10 remaining, it would be a big goal if they are to get an extra cushion here. Out come the Stingers. It's Bilodeau. Good through pass there to the goal scorer, Harwell. He tried to leave it for the likes of Lauzon, but could not connect, and out come the Mustangs. It's James. James into pressure. He will change as Colton Olenek will take up that task. Harwell with it again as that's sent around by Lalonde. Desrocher. Slapper. Good job there by Beaulieu to seal the wall as it's kept in. Bilodeau on Lalonde shooting. There's a big block in front from Bechtel. We already saw Osmanski go off hurt from a Lalonde bullet. And Bechtel making no mistake jumping in front of that one. Concordia will get a full change here as it's left behind the goal of Jessamine, and Corbell will lug it. Highland, rink wide pass as Neal will send it on. The captain, Sanch, leaves it there for Neal. Good job by Pettit as this Mustang PK very active. So far, really nothing generated other than that Lalonde drive on this power play. Through pass, just out of the reach there of Sanch. He kind of stuck in behind the Mustang defenders there. Neal tried to find him through center, was just out of his reach, as that would have been a very quick breakaway.
It would have been, yeah. Big shot block by Bechtel there.
Yeah, here it is again. The bullet from Lalonde, and
Perfect
Bechtel
form.
going down to block it as Olenek coming back the other way. Oh my goodness, just a hair out of the reach of Stefano. He's been really good in these playoffs. Picked up a goal in the last game against the Griffins. Has had 4 markers in 9 games. His season a little bit up and down. Spencer, one of those guys that kind of rises to the occasion. Only 5 goals actually on the year. So this 4 spot he's put up in the playoffs has been nothing short of spectacular. Corbeil left there for Neal. Neal on for Saunch, trying to center for Lalonde. Just hit off a stick and went high. Out comes Osmanski. Another big block. And Stefano will just send it down. The Mustang forwards will get a change. Trying to catch the Mustangs on the change was Concordia, as they were just about in. Katarnakis made a good play to get that puck through center, as now out come the Mustangs. Montgomery in behind for Zapula. As Spaviro will find it. Quick centering pass, and the shot off the stick of Montgomery just missed wide. So much chemistry between those guys. You see they just thrive off of each other, and of course why Montgomery has had such a spectacular playoff. Definitely due to the likes of Zapula and Spaviro setting him up in front. Here's another look as Spaviro finding Zapula, and the quick centering pass as Montgomery got everything on it. Just missed wide, as the outstretched arm of Jessamine was not going to track that puck.
It's a fantastic chance for Western.
Exactly what you want to see out of your top line if you're Coach Clarke Singer. And those guys have brought so much to the team this year. All first years, they will be in this program for years to come. So the future definitely looking up for the Mustangs. DeCarlo sent on for Olenek. He will chip that in deep. On to pressure is James. James finishing his check on Neal as it's sent up for Leclerc. Leclerc leaving there for the Vancouver pick. Neal, his pass was picked off by Olenek. Gosselin breaking up that Western chance, as out comes Beauchamp. Beauchamp into the backhand, trying to go back to the forehand. Good power move by him. Looked like he had a step on Core, just not able to move it back to his forehand. And Core maybe getting a stick in there and breaking that chance up. Parasini in behind the Western goal will send for Core. He muffed that one, but found its way to Stefano. Good stick from Osmanski, as Concordia had numbers, and a big hit right in front of the Western bench. It was Pettit. As there it is again, Kyle Pettit bringing the physical element. Looked like he actually kind of got a double team in there with Austin Osmanski, and I think it was Leclerc who felt the brunt of it. Huther chipping that out. Stefano going to work by him to get past Tessink. Stefano will delay. Waited for reinforcements, tried to center, but all it did was find its way to the captain, Saunch, who will loft that in on the cross-ice dump. Bechtel. Good spin to move his way away from Lauzon. As again, it's back through center, corralled by the Stingers. Harwell. Battle. Desrocher winning that one. Now onto the stick of Spaviro. Leaving for Desrocher, looking for the point shot. He finds it. Battle at the net. It was on the stick of Zapula as quickly as it was off. And, geez, Concordia dodging one, Spencer.
Very good chance by Western there.
Great
Love
work
to
by
see that.
Desrocher to find it in his feet and just get it towards the net. Had a couple men in white standing in front, and Zapula, a couple good whacks at it. But no luck, as Concordia just about having this game at 1-1. Highland. He will take big contact there from Eccles. As out come the Mustangs. It's DeCarlo. 2-on-2. DeCarlo dropping for Morrison. Shot. That was labeled for the top right corner. I think it actually even hit the stick of Jessamine, so another good chance off the rush there for the Mustangs, generating some offense, and that most recent chance did not miss by much.
No, it did not. See the shot in there, just a little bit over the crossbar up into the netting. That big hit by Pettit in front of the Western bench, it seems to have ignited these players. In the last couple minutes here, Western has had a little bit more pep in their step. They look like they're hungry. They want it, which is you love to see. Big hit can do that for your team.
Well, it really set the tone, and then a couple big chances, the one for Zapula in front, and then as we just saw, Morrison off the knob of Jessamine's stick. So this Western team hungry, trying to find it, Spencer, as they went all the way down to 3 games with that Griffin squad. Here's the Zapula chance again, off a couple bodies in front, into his skates, trying to kick it up to the stick, and a few whacks. Good clearing there from Gabriel Bilodeau, who got that out of harm's way for the Stingers, as that was just about a Mustang goal.
It was, yeah. They've looked good the past couple minutes here.
Core with it, shooting. No bodies in front as that found its way all the way into the corner. Langdon with it again. Trying to center off the body of Corbeil. Good hit by Fitzmaurice. Out come the Stingers. Leclerc chipping it in, as he will have only himself found a reinforcement in Neal, as Carl Neal trying to center there, as now Beaulieu with it. Beaulieu shooting. Good block from Huther. Now back to Sonch. Neal with it again. Open shot. Nobody in front, and Parasini stopping that 50-foot blast, as Carl Neal, the Vancouver pick, with a good look. As you have seen in the past, Luke Parasini going to stop just about everything. That's a clean look, and from north of that ringette line, just an easy save for him. Now it's Neal. In behind again with it. Sent up ice for Lauzon. Covered heavily by Stefano as he broke that up. Now Bechtel with it. Bechtel will wait in behind his goal as his team will get a quick change here. You can see Zapula patrolling the offensive blue line, as Spaviro will skate it all the way down. Heavy contact there, as Spaviro and Katernakis getting tied up. Katernakis. Zapula trying to pick his pocket, and his only option was just to fire that one out, so it will end up in the Concordia bench. And with a minute 16 remaining, the early goal from Chase Harwell still standing the test. The Stingers up 1-0. So here's that drive again from Beaulieu, and
You can see
as they've done
shot
all
block.
afternoon, this Mustang team doing such a good job of blocking shots, finding their way into those shooting lanes. And you talked about it, Spencer, not allowing those shots. They've done that so far, and it's really paid dividends.
3 big shot blocks from Western right from the point that Concordia had. And, you know they got to not allow Concordia to dominate them in the shot margin, like what happened against Guelph in that 3rd game. So Western doing a good job at making sure it doesn't get to the net.
Well, and you see even on that drive from Neal just a minute or so ago, Western doing a good job of allowing their goaltender to see pucks as they cleared all the bodies in front away. Neal, that 50-foot drive, but no luck as Luke Parasini, such a good positional goaltender, was squared right up to it. In behind, tried to find Highland. Bechtel had it. Good hit there. Separating his man from the puck was Wilton. Spaviro driven hard into the wall by Harwell. He kept it, though, as Western with numbers. Leaving, Desrocher trying to shoot Montgomery. Desrocher scores! Steven Desrocher following the play up, and Western with 23 seconds remaining are on the board. What a play there from Steven Desrocher. We've seen him hop up in the rush so many times this year. His confidence just growing with the days. And here it is again. Desrocher sending that to the net, following it up as Montgomery, I think he tried to shovel that one through, and eventually finding its way onto the stick of the big man. Desrocher pawning what will be his first of the playoffs, and what a critical goal So Steven Desrocher, first of the playoffs, his 6th point, and Western, they're on the board here, locked at ones.
It's a great goal from the Stinks there. Strength in numbers, that really turns it around. Going to the first intermission with a tie game, we got ourselves a really good hockey game here.
Well, as the 20-minute buzzer goes, the Mustangs, just moments prior, notching it at once. We will catch you on the other side of the break for Mustang TV.
I mean, you want to score whenever you can, I guess, but I'll take a goal at any time, especially in a big game like that against Concordia. Obviously, it gave us a good chance to kind of stay in the game, and we ended up winning that game. So, I mean, I think we had 5 goals, so other big goals from other guys, but every goal matters in a game like that. So glad that I could help out the team in that way.
And we are back. After 20 minutes of play, the Mustangs and Concordia Stingers locked up at ones here at Thompson Arena. Spencer, the shots that period 10-5 in favor of the Stingers. Goals to Chase Harwell, the assist going to Jean-Philippe Beaulieu, and then of course with 23 seconds remaining in that first frame, Steven Desrocher notching things up at 1. The assist there going to Sean Montgomery and Franco Spaviro. So both those two have had a spectacular playoff, and it just continues right on rolling as this Mustang team, they do not go away. It looked like Concordia had a lot of the possession numbers in that first period, but the Mustangs always doing a good job to remain in games and just kind of clawing their way back in.
They do, yeah. They played their game. They had, they're using the body, blocked a lot of good shots. They are making sure that it is tough for Concordia to get solid chances.
Definitely buying into the game plan that was likely set prior to game time. So we'll get a quick tripping call here. It's going to go, I believe, to Tyler Hyland, the leading scorer right now for the Stingers. So big loss in him as he'll go sit for 2. And there he is, Chase Harwell, the man who has his team on the board, scored just under 7 minutes into this game. And it was a beauty, too, as he just kind of parked himself out front. A little bit of a broken play and ended up right in the back of the Mustang net. So now after notching this game up, the Mustangs will get a big power play opportunity here, Spencer, and maybe one of the big turning points.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, getting that goal with 23 seconds left in the first period, to go into the first period of the tie game, it just gives you a better mindset. It's a fresh start the second period. Good power play here to start. They can get a goal here, that's big. They got the momentum in their favor.
Good puck movement early. That kept in at the line by James. Spaviro leaving for Zapula. That shot just high, actually off the body of Montgomery as he was parked in front. As you said earlier, Spencer, 4 power play markers for Sean Montgomery in these playoffs. Had 5 on the year. So look for him to at least do something in front of that net. A whole lot of body parked in front of goaltender Jessamine. Not easy for him to see these point shots come through. Left there for James. On for Spaviro. Spaviro wanting to shoot, was turned back as it'll go to James again. James on to Spaviro. Trying to send that through the crease. Montgomery was covered heavily in front by Tessink. Spaviro shooting. Sapula as he'll find it again. Shooting! Diving was the likes of Jessamine, and then James to keep it in at the line.
Excellent power play here for the Stangs.
Spaviro with it again. Leaves there for James. James shot, big block by Beaulieu. Sapula trying to dive to save that at the line. Now a one-on-one, it's Beaulieu and James. Beaulieu in, trying to go back to the forehand. Looked eerily similar to the assist he got in the first period as he just lost the handle trying to go back onto the forehand. Stefano tried to send into the corner for Spaviro, had his pocket picked. He'll find it again and on for James. James trying to send it rink wide, needing a change as he will get off as it's on for Kenny Huther. Out from the box comes Highland. Huther tried to leave for Desrocher, the Mustang goal scorer. He lost the handle as now it's Katernakis in shooting. Oh my goodness, Spencer, that just off the post as Katernakis kind of fanning on it, and I think it fooled Parasini. as it went off the post, off the back of his glove, and just about found its way in behind him.
Yeah, Parasini was not expecting that. That short-sided, it did look like he fanned on the shot here. Yeah, it was a flutter, and just, off the post twice, Parasini is able to put his glove on it. Good chance for Concordia. Good stop for Parasini there.
So gonna have to give that post a tap there, as Parasini getting bailed out on the muffled attempt that just about beat him. Neal sent across for Beaulieu. Instead, Desrocher will find it. Now it's Stefano in a foot race. He'll win it. Waiting there for reinforcements. He'll send it around the wall on for Huther. Instead, Neal will pick it up. In behind with it is Bilodeau. As that Mustang power play, the most recent, now 0 for 2 on the night. The power play will go all the way down to 21%. Came into this game at 23. So losing a little bit of ground in that regard. They had just okay numbers on the year. That kind of continuing into the playoffs. The power play has been pretty good, but kind of relying heavily on some big guns, as Spavero 6 power play markers on the year. Montgomery 5, Desrocher 5. So if those guys aren't going to get it done, it's going to be difficult. And we've seen they have not really done so this afternoon thus far. Osmanski will lug it himself. He found his way over the offensive blue line. Instead, collected in behind and sent up for the captain, Sanch. Sanch lost it to Fitzmaurice, who will try and dance there around Lalonde. And will be broken up there on the offside. So just under 5 minutes gone, Spencer. A little bit of action both ways. The Mustangs starting off on the power play. And a lot of chances, but just nothing breaking goaltender Jessamine, who will need a fresh stick here as his snapped on that most recent play.
Back and forth so far. Concordia with a couple of really good chances. Western with a very solid power play. They had a great cycle down there. It looked like they might have a good chance at scoring.
In to take this draw for the Stingers will be Zachary Zorn, Sanch, and Fletcher lining up to his flank. Sanch, the perennial point per game man for the Stingers, now wearing the C in his 4th year. That shot didn't miss by much off the stick there of Fletcher as it goes back to the point. Lalonde, his shot found its way through everybody but not on goal. Fletcher back to Lalonde. Looking to shoot. He fired for the stick of Sanch. Good look from him. The shot out and around the body of Reed Morrison. And beautiful set of hands from Sanch to get that puck on net.
Yeah, you can see Sanch down there. I mean, he's almost a head smaller than Cordell James, but he ain't afraid to be and stand in front of the net. That was a fantastic tip.
Yeah, you see it's actually DiCarlo coming out to challenge this one. And Lalonde, beautiful look from him to fire around the body of Alex DiCarlo. And what a big body that is indeed, as Alex DiCarlo, the big man from Woodbridge, Ontario, in his 2nd year. And really, Spencer, that you'd expect to find his way into that lane, out to challenge. And good work there by the Stingers. You can see they've got all sorts of offensive talent was on display there.
It was a great setup. Be interesting to see how Western does here. Concordia seems to be picking up the pace a little bit. Got a few very good chances. They got to see what they can do with Montgomery, this first unit.
Well, so often off the back end of a power play, penalty kill, the team in which killed it kind of gains a little bit of momentum, and I think that's exactly what we saw there from the Stingers. They took the intensity they had and translated into a couple big opportunities. Now it's Harwell shooting, trying to go far pad, and it was a great pad pass indeed, just no one there to pick it up on the doorstep. Now it's Montgomery in. Nobody else in a white sweater around, so he elected to shoot. Now Zapula picking it up, leaving there for Osmanski. That found its way all the way through. Believe it was tipped in front actually by Spavero, just wide. Spavero with it again. We'll chip that in across the Concordia line. Now back to pick it up is Neal. Neal's seen all sorts of ice this afternoon. Gotta expect his minutes already up over the 10, maybe 12-minute mark, as every time you look back there for the red and yellow, he is manning the point. as his pass just out of the reach of Beaulieu, so that will go for an icing. And that man, Luke Parasini, 10 shots in the first, Spencer, led in that early one to Harwell. He didn't really have a chance on it, and he's been nothing short of exceptional since.
He has, yeah. He had that good lucky one with that lucky post here to start the second, but overall he has been rock solid in between the pipes. He looks good. He looks like he's settled into this game quite well. You know he wants this badly.
Indeed, in his 4th year, the man who was once CHL goaltender of the year, unfortunately not an NHL draft pick, was kind of a disappointing moment for him. Did get a chance almost with the Columbus Blue Jackets, where he put on a display at, I believe it was 2017, potentially 2016 main camp, and just about made that team, but nonetheless has been a big part of this Western team as they have pushed here in the playoffs, taking down the number 1 and 2 seed as they were the 8th seed coming into the playoffs, and you got to think a lot of it on the back of Parasini. James sent there, back across, and what a beautiful goal. The finish from Anthony Stefano as they go tic-tac-toe, and all of a sudden the Mustangs out to a 1-goal lead.
Incredible play by the Stangs there. Great puck movement. The crowd's fired up here at Thompson.
Yeah, you see the
Got
quick
cross
puck movement.
Back, right to Stefano, just put it right in. No chance for the goalie.
So Anthony Stefano picking up his 5th marker now of the playoffs, will match his entire season's output. And you gotta love guys like that coming to play, Spencer. He has been a big-time player. Thought he was really good in that game against the Griffins on Sunday, and he has brought it this afternoon as well, picking up the go-ahead goal here for the Mustangs.
The playoffs, you need guys to step up. He certainly has stepped up so far in these playoffs. He's looked really solid. That was a great play by Western. Tic-tac-toe. No chance for the goalie. Concordia way out of place.
Well, how about the vision of Kenny Huther, too, as James sent it to him. Could have easily just fired it on net. Instead, he waited, great patience, and left it for Stefano, who just tucked it into the empty net. So beautiful movement from that line. Kenny Huther finally finding his way back into the point column, as does Cordell James. So what a sequence there, and the Mustangs out to that 2-1 lead. Olenek leaving there for Reed Morrison. He will shoot. That one hit the underside of the bar and trickled through the crease. Morrison, kind of a trigger guy, and has been all year long, just about adding to the Mustang lead there, as that missed by inches. Olenek tried to send for Morrison. Instead, Montgomery hustling up to meet that puck at the opposing blue line. Back to pick it up is Gosselin. Will leave there for Beaulieu. As Spaviro picking his pocket, tried to center. Just a step late was Zapula. Zapula in behind. Beaulieu with it now. There's good battle there, won by the Mustangs, and hauled down with Spaviro. And that, Spencer, a pretty cut and dry call, as Beaulieu just getting the stick tied up in the skates of Spaviro. He goes down in a heap, and just as they notch that go-ahead goal, they're going to go back to the power play.
Yeah, let's check it out here on the replay. See what.
This is that drive from Morrison, almost the 3-1 marker, as it just under the bar beat Jessamine, but not able to beat that crossbar. So Reed Morrison almost getting his team out to a big lead here. Nonetheless, they will go to the power play. Already a couple times unsuccessful, and they score. What a blast from Kenny Huther, and did not take long, just 12 seconds into that penalty to Beaulieu. The Mustangs capitalize.
What a shot. Wow. No ifs, ands, or buts about that one. He blasted that one. Not even a chance for the goalie. Western taking a commanding 3-1 lead here. First 2 goals quick here in the second period. This has really turned the game.
Well, exactly who they wanted to go to, Spencer, and you saw that puck go back to the point in a hurry. They sling it across to Huther, and as he's done all year long, he blasts it from the point. Was a clean look too. Nobody parked in front, and Jessamine just not able to handle it. So Kenny Huther picking up what will be his third marker of the playoffs, his 5th point. The assist going to the captain Bechtel. And we'll have to wait on the other one, but nonetheless, the Mustangs up a couple quick goals here as they have come out in this second period absolutely flying. And it looks like they are running all over these Stingers right now. Centering pass for Lalonde, couldn't handle it. Looked like his stick maybe exploded on him. Instead, it'll find its way to the front. Highland banging away on it, but covered up by goaltender Luke Parasini.
3 unanswered goals here for Western. Concordia looks a little flat. They look like they're kind of defeated at the moment, so let's see how they can respond. Here we see a chance here. Parasini, easy save, no doubt about it.
Well, you talk about the response. Was a quick response for the Stingers finding their way into the Mustang zone. And a chance in front, like you said, Spencer. Highland banging away at it, but Parasini not to be fooled and just covers up smartly for the D-zone draw, and out comes the 4th line. Fitzmaurice, heavy contact there. We'll see. It'll draw a crowd. And Fitzmaurice skating out unscathed. But a big hit along the wall. Looked like he tracked him all the way from the red line. And, contact there with Corbeil. And actually, it was an icing too, Spencer.
It was, yeah. That's why he was racing for it. They were both going for the puck hard. Concordia here, get the puck possession, Western's end. Let's see what they can do. They need a response. They need something to ignite this team. They look flat.
Well, it'll be Zorn in to take the draw for the Stingers. Good win back as it'll go to Bilodeau. Bilodeau. Power move to the middle. Shot off the body of Langdon. As out come the Mustangs again. Core chips it around Fletcher. Will make contact with him. And he will be collided into by Harwell. The shot from Osmanski just off the shoulder there of Jessamine. Fitzmaurice battle in the corner. It'll be his dance partner there as trying to get the best of him is Corbeil. Good battle in the corner, Langdon. Sending it out front, nobody home though. As now that puck just through the body of Zorn. The Mustang bench calling for an icing. They will not get it though. As big hit from Zach Core. And out comes Turco. Alex Turco. 2-on-1 at the net. Spaviro couldn't find the handle as he had Turco crashing hard to that back corner. Sanch and Spaviro getting tied up. 2 smaller bodies in there as now it's Beaulieu. Beaulieu shooting. Good job by Parasini. Sanch trying to bank it in off the back of Luke Parasini and instead got caught up in his pad, but what a smart play. You see it all the time in the NHL as kind of tried to do the Sidney Crosby and bank it in off the back of Parasini. No luck though as he will draw a D-zone draw.
Parasini locked in. Good play there. Just staying solid in the net, not making any sudden movements. Make sure that puck doesn't trickle in off him. That chance there by Turco, he was mad as he skated off the ice. He broke his stick. He was frustrated. It was a good chance by the Stangs down there, just a little bit too soft of a pass.
Well, I think he actually took a big slash in on the hands, which is like you said, Spencer. You heard the snap. He wasn't happy. Thought it should have been a call as him and Spaviro, good 2-on-1 at the net. Opportunity to even extend this lead now. And again, the Mustangs charging 200 feet. The shot of Olenek on goal. Jessamine will cover up. And we will get another offensive zone draw. There's that chance from Sanch. You see, just trying to bank it off the back of Parasini. Ended up on the pad of Luke Parasini. So like you said, Spencer, no sudden movements. And just covered that one up for the D-zone draw. Out come the Stingers. Chipped in by Granaray. Left there as it's Diot. Granaray with it again. He tried to loft that one in off the glass-bound mesh instead, so changes from both benches. And we will get a draw just outside the Mustang zone here with 9:13 remaining. The Mustangs still leading 3-1. Spencer, you mentioned 3 unanswered, so Concordia just trying to find some sort of spark here, and I would almost go as far as saying they maybe need one before the end of the period.
They need something. They just don't look into it right now. I mean, they started this game. They've certainly dominated possession for most of it, but with these quick 2 goals here in the second period, and that last goal with only 23 seconds left in the first for Western, it has ignited this Western Mustangs team.
Well, those 3 goals all within a 10-minute span. So like you said, Spencer, this team just a little bit deflated, and you got to credit the Mustangs. They have done such a good job of responding off of that first goal. The Chase Harwell marker early in the first period, and they've come back very strong.
Parasini has been very solid. And that first goal that they let in really wasn't any chance for him to make that save, but since then he has just been locked into this game. You've got to believe he wants it. Being a senior, he wants to go to nationals badly.
Shot on from the point. That was Gosselin who lofted one in on goal. Whole bunch of traffic in front of Parasini. Tracked it through everybody. Here it is again, the Gosselin drive. And you see a couple bodies in front, but Parasini even covering that one up, absorbing it into the midsection. And we've said so often how talented he is, especially in the positional game. And that one, you just kind of stand there and let it hit you. You let your angle take over, and that's exactly what he did.
Made sure there was no rebound there for Concordia to even have a chance of getting a goal. Good play by Parasini.
Well, and guess who was parked out front? The man wearing the C, Philippe Sange. He can score, and had that one drop down, probably would have been a pretty good battle at the net. Cross-ice pass, broken up there by Core, as it's sent up for Katernakis. Katernakis will find Highland. He couldn't get a hold of it as it's sent back across for Neal, and on for Katernakis. Gosselin looking to shoot. Good job by Stravero to sprawl out and make that block. Out comes Zapula. His chance stopped in his tracks as in come the Stingers again. Parasini in behind his goal. Behind the play, Sanch and Zapula getting tied up. Both again smaller bodies. Sanch, the 5'5", 150-pounder, maybe only giving up a couple inches to Zapula. Nonetheless, 2 guys playing with a lot of emotion. We've seen it out of Zapula all year long. And finding a dance partner in Philippe Sanch, maybe not a bad matchup, as he is one of their top scorers. So those 2 look for that battle to develop as things carry out. Batted out of midair. Good hands from Leclerc, as Parasini had to be sharp making that pad save. Lalonde up for Graneray. Graneray looking to pass. He will elect to shoot instead off the stick of Eccles and steered wide by Parasini. Battle. Morrison losing it to Graneray. He couldn't track the puck. Eventually did. Beautiful cross seam pass. Unfortunately, Corbeil not able to get everything on it. Just trickled on goal. Now it's Corbeil again. The Stingers with numbers. Shot on Parasini, steering that wide. Harwell leaving back for Corbeil again. Corbeil will go around the wall out of the reach of Leclerc. Instead on to Bilodeau. Harwell, cross ice dump. Batted out front. Off the stick there of Leclerc, and out come the Stangs. Cleared in by Bechtel. Stefano in to pick it up on the hard rim. Anthony Stefano. And will delay. In behind the goal of Jessamine. Stefano looking for a centering pass. Trying to find Huther. Instead, he was covered there by Beaulieu. Bechtel. Good job by Harwell to pressure him, and now it's Beaulieu trying to drive hard to the net. Good work by Desrocher to break up his attempt. With it again. Shooting. Couple whacks at it in front for Beaulieu on the Lauzon drive, and Spencer, just as maybe we were counting out this Concordia team, they've come in waves. In that most recent sequence, it was all Stingers.
It was, definitely. Parasini, great stop there, making sure there was no rebounds.
Yeah, here's that chance again. As you see, Granare, the centering pass, kind of just threw it to an area. Luckily, found Corbeil, and he almost got good wood on it.
Then on this outlet here, Western with a bad change. Concordia had strength in numbers coming down. Good stop by Parasini.
Sapula pressuring, sent to his partner Neal. There's Neal on for Sant. Sant with it. He tried to dangle around Bechtel. He got a stick in there, as now Sanch will find it again. Sanch looked to center to Neal. Didn't find him in a shooting position. Instead, just the backhand. And Montgomery will get it outside the Mustang blue line. 5 minutes remaining now. The Mustangs still leading by a score of 3-1. Montgomery just batted that one out of midair and found its way to Katernakis. Sanch, shot! Just off the right pad. 3-on-1 at the net for the Stingers. Now a 2-on-1 the other way. Colton Olenek shooting! What a snare from Jessamine. Olenek had Zapula going hard to the net. Elected to shoot, and flashing the leather was Jessamine. So there's that 3-on-1 at the net. You see Sanch trying to go blocker side just over the pad. Parasini flashing it, and then Olenek the other way. Good look. Had that whole right side to shoot at Jessamine, maybe even daring him to shoot there. And then he throws out the glove. Beautiful save from the first year.
Big save for Jessamine there.
You know, aside to the 3 goals he's let in, which obviously not his best work, he's been pretty good, Spencer. A lot of Mustang attempts in this second frame. And Jessamine has done a pretty good job. Everything he's seen, he's stopped, other than that Huther drive. And that most recent save, that's going to be a big confidence boost. Now it's Core. He will delay, and the Mustangs will regroup. Langdon gets a pretty good little slew foot, and I believe it is going to go for a call. So out from the goal comes Parasini. And we'll see what they can do with the extra attacker here. The delayed call still in effect as the Mustangs 6 skaters. Spavero. He will double back, waiting for a regroup. As Osmanski will get a change. On comes Bechtel. So the extra skater will come of nothing on the delayed call. Spavero looking for the stretch pass through to Pettit. Nonetheless, we will see who's going to go off on that tripping call. Nobody wanting to admit to it, and it'll be actually Granare. So Colin Granare, the Delta BC native, will go off on the tripping call. And some good contact, Spencer, all over the ice. You talked very early on about the Mustangs establishing the physical game, and they have really done that. It looks like really this Concordia team has not had an answer.
If you're Concordia, you need to stop here. You cannot let Western get another goal going into the second intermission.
Well, already one power play marker on the day off the stick of Stefano, who just turned that puck over. So now Western will have to regroup. Good job there by Beaulieu to pick the pocket of Bechtel. Now Neal with it, killing valuable seconds off the clock for this Concordia penalty kill. Just 2 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the period. And under 1:30 to go in the penalty to Granare. Huther left there for Olenek. As Kenny Huther, that power play marker just moments ago. And indeed, the stick of Harwell taking a beating. Again, nobody wanting to admit fault, and it'll be Colton Olenek. So the penalty minute leader for the Mustangs will negate the power play and go off on the slash. And you know what, Spencer? The official standing right there going to call that all day long, especially the way that stick exploded.
Yeah.
So we'll get to see a minute 4 of 4-on-4 hockey here, probably favoring the Stingers as they've got some excellent skaters and a little extra ice to move. Back to the point for Lalonde. Wires crossed as he left that for Bilodeau, who Osmanski rode into the wall. You hear the Stingers fans just going ballistic. Thought that was a holding call. Zapula trying to go to the backhand. Good work by Lalonde to get a stick in there. As the pace definitely slowing, you want to see it pick up here if you're Concordia. And they will, as out comes Highland shooting. Not a great look there, and a good whack in by Sanch. You see Osmanski going in. Probably got at least a foot on the captain, Sanch. He kind of gave him just a little quick shot and said, hey, if you're going to be in here, it's going to be a long night.
Good shot there. Parasini making sure there's no rebounds from that awkward angle with Sanch. He was coming in. Sanch like that Brad Marchand type player. Very pesky, small guy, but effective.
Well, Philippe Sanch wearing the C for the Stingers in his 4th year as a member of this Concordia squad. Spent 4 years in the queue with Armada, 200 points in his 210 games played in the QMJHL. So just a almost point per game guy, and has been a perennial point producer for the Stingers. So not the guy you want to give that puck up to. And obviously getting a change, but him and Tyler Highland haven't really shown much yet today, but you got to expect those guys to break free at some point. Out from the box comes Grand Array, so Concordia will go to the power play. Nothing done on that 4-on-4, which we thought we might see a little bit of action, but was kind of a neutral zone battle again. Now it's James. Had a couple shorthanded markers on the year. He'll get it all the way in behind the Concordia goal before he'll take a spill, and out come the Stingers. Neal. Cross ice. Left there for Lauzon. Was greeted by Zachary Corr, who tried to kill it on the wall, as it'll come along the near side for Bilodeau. Again, in to eat it against the boards is Osmanski. He will fall. It'll come back to the point for Bilodeau. Bilodeau looking to shoot. Trying to make one extra move. That was the difference, as Osmanski getting a stick in there. All kinds of time to shoot that puck, Spencer, instead electing to go to the backhand. And that will do it for the Concordia power play. Under 20 remaining. Bilodeau got all the way to the Mustang blue line before he was ridden into the wall heavily by the likes of Kenny Huther. Good battle. Now one last chance for the Stingers. Instead picked up by Turco, as he will just kill the remaining seconds here. So the Mustangs, Spencer, coming out with 2 early markers, now 3 unanswered. The Mustangs lead 3-1. We will catch you on the other side of the break.
One more period to go here, again with the trip to Halifax on the line. We had this experience last week in Guelph in Game 3 with a lead going into the third, and we didn't manage it, handle it as well as we should have. And I know we talked about that a lot during the week. So I think our team will be ready here. Having a 2-goal lead is very, very important, and typically throughout the year, our second period has been outstanding. After a first period, I wasn't real happy with. So looking forward to a big third here, and the team's ready to go.
After 40 minutes of play here at Thompson Arena, Spencer Long alongside Rob Fleming for MTV's coverage here this afternoon. We've got 20 minutes left, Mr. Long, and this Western team, they are heavily in the driver's seat. Shots that period, 18-11 actually in favor of the Stingers. So the shot column still heavily leaning towards this Stinger team, and Western really still kind of letting up some of those shots that you would expect. I mean, even based on this score right now, that aren't getting through. But, of course, Parasini doing his best effort to keep his team in this one. And, they've done a great job in front of him as well. The shots that have found their way through, he's seen them, and they're cleared away almost immediately. So his D-corps doing a great job there, and this Concordia team trying to make a push. And as we saw just last weekend, Western definitely liable to give up a couple in the third period, as they did to the Guelph Griffins. So they're going to want to kind of flip that on its head here this afternoon. And I know you had some thoughts from that period. Certainly this Western team doing a good job, as you've talked all afternoon long, in the physical column. As you see right there, another hit from Kenny Huther.
Yeah, no, they've been physical. They have been dominant. That second period, they really turned it a great chance there for Concordia.
So battle in front. You said that shot there from Highland Spencer didn't miss by much. Actually found the midsection of Parasini. Another drive right on. That was Gosselin off the outside of the post. Desrocher trying to find the puck there, as he did eventually. Cleared it out, and Kenny Huther in a bit of a jousting match with Gosselin, and that shot came after the whistle. So that will draw a crowd. Zach Core all over the likes of Katarnakis, who ripped that one on goal just a second late.
Looking chippy. These teams, they both want it. If you're Western, you got to hold on strong here. If you're Concordia, you got to start firing, and they certainly are doing that.
Yeah, so here's the jousting match between Huther and Gosselin. You see, he even kicks his stick there at the end for good measure. So these two teams, they don't know each other well, and these East and West matchups don't happen very often. Western, of course, playing UQTR in the only East-West matchup they saw all year long at the beginning of the year. Those were a 5-1 and a 6-3 loss. So you would have expected maybe a little bit different result, as the East typically a little bit more powerful, as they'll have what we call maybe a little bit of a monetary incentive out East. So a lot of those teams just a little bit higher powered, especially in the offensive column. Nonetheless, Western has done a great job this afternoon. 3 unanswered goals right now, and they have their foot right down on the pedal on this Concordia team, trying to book themselves a Nationals berth. Harwell will play that along for Corbeil, who will send it on for Beaulieu. He'll tip that in deep. Now Osmanski tried to glove it down, couldn't track it as Harwell. He did. Osmanski eventually finding it, lofting it out to center. Spaviro breaking in there. The clearing attempt from Jessamine hit the skate of Bilodeau and just about went back on goal, as that puck cleared in by Chase Harwell. Will find its way over the glass. So just a couple minutes in here, Spencer, already a lot of action on both sides of the puck. And here's that most recent chance, just about Spaviro making it a 3-goal deficit.
Yeah, just an odd bounce. It could have been bad for Concordia there, but lucky to get out of that one. Right now, I mean, Concordia, they look hungry. They got to score, obviously, and fantastic defensive play there.
Well, you saw Morrison walk around Tessink. He eventually turning on it and then making a play. We haven't seen a lot out of Morrison so far. What we have seen was just about a goal earlier in the game underneath the bar, and then almost breaking free there. He's one of these guys that he just kind of sleeps on you and then makes a play here and there, and you go, wow.
He's methodical, picks his chances. When he does, he's usually successful.
DiCarlo all the way 200 feet away from his post on defense, colliding with goaltender Jessamine. No call. Concordia still up in arms about it.
The ref right there, he saw it, he slid in. That was not intentional. He just lost his footing, hit the goalie. Unfortunate.
No doubt. I'm glad you got a look on that one, because all I saw was the goaltender down. So good work to track that behind the play. And as you said, the official right on top of it. So good no call, as now Gosselin will play it up on for Neal, who will loft that deep in behind the Mustang goal. Katarnakis. As now Huther with it. Huther getting tied up in behind with Soch. Huther's helmet will pop off, so he'll have to change. Sapula on for Huther. Just about picking the pocket of Gosselin, as that's sent in front off the skate of Katarnakis. Pettit. Good collision on the walls. It'll come back to Neal, as he was tripped up, tried to spin away from Stefano. I think he caught just the toe of Stefano's skate and went down in a heap. So big penalty call, maybe even just a little bit of a makeup. As you see, here it is again. Good spin move from Neal, and you know what? Stefano got that leg out there, so good call from the official. And the Stingers, they will get a big chance to go to the power play here, and at least cut into this Mustang lead, which is right now still standing at 3-1.
Yeah, unfortunate for Stefano there. He just got to be smarter. He skated through him. I know the other guy was spinning, but just got to make sure you're not doing that. In a 3-1 game, you can't be going down, letting them get right back into it. A goal here for Concordia is huge.
Sometimes just a knee-jerk reaction. We know Stefano, an emotional player, so he will go off for 2. That shot on from Lalonde into the midsection of Parasini. Looked like it kind of got away from him a little bit, Spencer, and he had to jump on top of it to make that play.
It was good there was no Concordia player right on top of him, because he was able to, it bounced off him, was able to track it and make sure there was no juicy rebound. He's been really solid this game in making sure that there are no second chances for Concordia.
Well, as we've said so often, Parasini undoubtedly 9 times out of 10 going to stop the first one. Now, this D-core just going to have to do a good job to clear those rebounds away. They don't come often, but when they do, certainly the responsibility of the men in front of Luke Parasini. Now it's Bilodeau trying to go cross ice. We'll send it down, as that was a good little alley-oop play off the boards. Bilodeau up for Harwell, and they're going to blow it for icing. I don't believe they will stand by it here, as the officials will converse. Will probably come at center ice. Beautiful play nonetheless, though, as you see it often in the NHL. Bilodeau sending that puck 200 feet down off the wall, and Chase Harwell following up for a pretty good scoring opportunity.
It was a good chance. Unfortunate that for Concordia that the refs blew that down. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but it shouldn't have been blown. But they are going to take it to the other end.
Indeed they will. One of the linesmen here getting repairs from the Western bench. The reason for the delay. So we will continue here as the face-off in the offensive zone of the Mustangs after that most recent icing. And another quick conversation from the officials, as I think still talking over that icing call. Spencer trying to figure out exactly what the right play is here.
Let's see what they do. No, they're gonna stick with it. All right, so good for Western. That's what you want to see that on the penalty kill. Get a possession here.
You see Heuther parked at the top of the circle. Unfortunately, draw lost, as it looked like Olenek was going to try to win it back to him for that big shot.
And look at Olenek in the corner here. He'll stay there all day.
Great job by Colton Olenek, the spiritual leader on this team, killing some time off the clock. As now only a minute 13 remaining in that penalty to Anthony Stefano. Highland will move that up ice and sent in there by Katarnakis, who will follow it up into the glove of Parasini, and they will take an offensive zone draw. So the Mustangs getting some fresh legs here. Still over a minute remaining in the call. Concordia trying to just generate a little bit of zone time, just set things up. They haven't had anything yet, haven't even really gotten a zone entry other than that play just happening there, the puck on goal, and then of course what was almost a beautiful play off the end wall to Harwell earlier on that went for the icing.
Let's see what Concordia can do here. Oh, going to get it blown down, so for a high stick, or?
Yeah, I believe just an offside here.
Offside.
As James caught a little bit behind the play, so.
Concordia not doing anything on this power play. I mean, if you're Western, this has been a solid penalty kill. You want to make sure that any shots that they do get, you're right on top of it, and there is no traffic in front.
Well, all these whistles breaking it up too. Hard to gain any sort of momentum if you're Concordia with just the whistle blowing every 10 seconds or so. They will finally get up and over the offensive blue line. And Harwell, blind pass. He tried to send it through center to Bilodeau. He had just slid a little bit to his left, and it was out of his reach. So now 20 seconds remaining. Concordia going to try to set something up. Back to Lalonde, looking to shoot. He will, off the stick of Bechtel in front. But Parasini, again, there to shut the door.
He has just been rock solid ever since that first goal that Concordia got. That wasn't even his fault. He has just been the man in between the pipes today. Just so cool, calm, and collected. With that tip there, just slid right across. No doubt about it. Just get a whistle. Try to kill off this remaining 13 seconds if you're Western.
Well, he's seen 32. Spencer, only one breaking him to this point. As we said before, the 32 shot effort from the Griffins, where they broke him 4 times, was his most recent loss. But nonetheless, he has been the backbone of this team, especially through these playoffs. And if they're going to win, it's going to be on that man's shoulders, Luke Parasini. Lauzon in to take this draw against Kyle Pettit. Pettit will get waved. In comes Montgomery. Big draw here for Concordia. Harwell tried to step through it. Couldn't find the puck. As you saw, a bit of a battle there right on top of the faceoff dot. Chase Harwell just overskating the puck a little bit. He would have been free and clear, had a step on everybody, and it looked like Desrocher actually stepped the wrong way. So just about a good chance there for Concordia. 8 seconds now remaining in the penalty to Stefano. You can see he's itching to get out of that box. Lalonde with it at the point. Bilodeau looking to shoot. He will. Good block by Montgomery as Harwell tried to center. Nobody home in front. Desrocher, he will send that up the wall. Kept in by Lalonde. Back to Desrocher again. Now he'll skate it out. Steven Desrocher. He'll just chip that in. Has hopped over the stick of Jessamine. Now over top of Bilodeau's stick. As the rolling puck certainly favoring the Mustangs there. Geez, that one just about fooling Jessamine. The Osmanski drive from center. That would have been an absolute backbreaker for Concordia. On for Neal. A lot of passes just kind of going to nowhere for this Concordia team. You see the D almost just throwing it up ice and hoping. Has turned out in a lot of turnovers for the Mustangs. And good chance there from Carl Neal, the D-man, who hopped up off the point and tried to beat Parasini's short side. He had sealed that right post. There it is again. Neal just nothing to shoot at as Parasini covering the entire 4x6.
As we've been saying all game, Parasini, no rebounds. He is just on top of that puck right away. There are no second chances for this team to get any more goals right now. And the Western looks, they're holding tight. Let's see what Concordia can do.
Sonch leaving there for Highland. He spun and fired off the side of the net. Neal off the line again. It's got to be minute 30 for him, as I don't know if he's left the ice in the third period so far. Highland in behind. With it there is Katarnakis. Sent in. Nobody in a Concordia sweater there to pick it up in behind. Sonch trying to do something about it. And there's now a battle between Highland, and it looks like Olenek on the wall, kept in there as the stick of Gosselin exploded. Sonch with it, looked to shoot. Instead just found the body of Colton Olenek. As that puck just bounces off the end wall, and Osmanski will send it down 200 feet. So tired bodies for the Mustangs having to stay out here as the entire Concordia line will get a change, and a big offensive zone draw here for the Stingers.
Yeah, another Olenek with another great shot block there. Western making sure that Concordia does not get any solid shots, traffic towards the net. They're playing it in front of them right now. They look holding on tight to that 3-1 lead. Concordia's coming out firing, but Western seems to staying strong. It starts with that goaltender, Parasini, and he has been rock solid between the pipes today.
You gotta like the work of this Mustang D zone as well, as they are not allowing a lot to find their goaltender what it is from very low percentage areas. As, man, that puck off the stick of Beaulieu in a hurry, right out in the danger zone in front of Parasini, but cleared away very quickly by Steven Desrocher.
Another ice in here. If you're Western, you really need a change.
No doubt a big chance here for the Stingers. Still, these Western bodies very tired, and a big win there. Back to the point for Bilodeau. Corbeil. He couldn't really handle that. Eventually found it off the block from Huther. Harwell. Poked through by Beaulieu. On for Bilodeau. Bilodeau in a battle with Stefano, and he'll poke it free. Huther in 2-on-1 with Stefano. Elected to shoot, and then he will run into Jessamine again. So I don't know if it's Jessamine just coming a little too far out of his crease and challenging shooters, but it looks like this Mustang forecheck is getting all sorts of tied up with him.
Hard to that net.
Montgomery up for Stefano, who will send it up for Huther. Huther couldn't handle it. Lalonde could, as he is pressured heavily by Montgomery. Good work by Spaviro to come in with reinforcements and keep that puck in, only for a moment though, as out come the Stingers again. In behind for Beauchamp. Chance in front for Granaray. He tried to shovel it 5-hole, but Parasini sliding to his left gave him nothing to shoot at. Montgomery not able to chip it out. Good hold there from Diot at the point. Now Beauchamp with it. Rink wide. Found the likes of Lalonde, who will rim it for Beauchamp. In behind. Centering pass intended for Beauchamp was broken up by Montgomery to Beauchamp again. Now on to the stick there of Lalonde. A couple good whacks at it in front for Beauchamp, but nobody able to get it on goal. Lalonde with it again. Sprawling play from Spaviro, and that will relieve pressure only for a moment though, and that's offside.
That was a great play. Western desperately needed a change. Big play by Spavano.
Well, Spaviro just continues to make big play after big play, and that is just throwing the full 5'8", generous 5'8", we'll say, of his body sprawling out to make that play, and he has bought in all year long. Really in 3 zones, Spencer. You love to have a guy like that out there. Led his team in points on the year. And just a beautiful, dire effort from him. A whole lot of heart out of 26 and white. In come the Mustangs. Turco with it. Sending that on. Went to the net hard. And poked it free. Just for a moment, though, as now in front, Langdon making friends.
Some extracurriculars. Third period hockey, go to nationals, you'd expect it. So really, you thought that puck was firmly in Jessen's possession, but somehow it got loose here. Let's check out on the replay.
Yeah, you see Turco just driving in hard.
And just a little stick, yeah.
Just a little one hand in, and then Langdon a few whacks before even abandoning the stick did Jessamine just to dive on top of it, Spencer.
Yeah. Good chance by Western.
Olenek will win that to the side. Morrison not able to handle it, though, as out will come Highland. Highland, rink wide off the stick there of Morrison. As into pressure is Neal. Neal has found a lot of time north of that Western blue line. And interesting, he hasn't played a whole lot of defense, so, I mean, you'd expect, you look at the game card, and he's a D-man, but probably contributing a lot more on the offensive side of the puck than the defensive side of the puck. And even when you take a look at this roster here, Spencer, 4 of the top 9 scorers on this Concordia team defenders, so they get a whole lot of offense done. Right now they're kind of paling in the defense category, but you got to expect that, at least something has to happen in a hurry out of this Concordia team, and definitely on the offensive side of the puck.
Yeah, good icing here for Concordia. He was trying to hit the net, missed it, so it's going to have to stay on the ice here and see what Western, if they can capitalize on this offensive zone opportunity. Now we're under 8.5 minutes remaining. If you're Concordia, you got to score soon. You got to get something going. Veracini has just been rock solid between his pipes. Western's defense has been solid as well. With those another shot block just before there. I mean, they are just making sure that there is nothing getting to that net.
And they score. Kenny Huther walks right off the draw, finds himself in a little area right in front of Jessamine and makes no mistake up and over the blocker. 4-1 Stangs.
A tired Concordia line out there after an icing. Western took advantage. Commanding lead now.
Well, and you can see the head coach here of Concordia, Marc-Andre Elamont, just up in arms. Thought that was an icing.
Great shot.
And there's that look again. Kenny Huther making no mistake, going up and over the shoulder there of Jessamine. And what a beautiful goal it was. So Kenny Huther, his second of the afternoon. The Mustangs out to a 4-1 lead.
4 unanswered goals here for the Stangs. They have just responded to that early lead from Concordia. Make no mistake, this team is for real, and they want it right now. They are hungry.
Still 8 remaining in the third here as the Mustangs will try to hold on to what is right now a 4-1 lead and book their ticket to the Nationals in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We thought it was all over, and now here's Huther again, in alone. Kenny Huther to the forehand, saved by Jessamine. And now that will draw a crowd as Huther getting involved, I believe, with Jessamine, and it looked like coming to his aid was Felix Lauzon as those two just exchange slashes. So we will see if things are sorted out. Huther definitely going to the box.
Looks like they might send Bilodeau too, because he got a nice slash on Huber, but I'm not, are they just going to send one here? Oh, they're going to, yeah, they're going to take Lausen. Yeah. Great chance, great save by the goaltender there.
So just on the back end of that Kenny Huther breakaway and the beautiful glove save from Kyle Jessamine. A jousting match in front as Huther exchanging slashes with Lauzon. They will take 2 though, and that will offset. So neither team worse for wear, and we will get an offensive zone draw.
Neil standing with the linesman. He was arguing about something. I don't think they liked the call, but I think it was the right call there. Both of those guys having some extracurriculars. Let's offset it. Have some 5-on-5 hockey.
Well, this Concordia team, I don't know if they can be extremely happy with the officiating this afternoon. You don't like to point fingers, but a couple of those icings there were potential non-calls, and even that most recent one. We'd have to have another look, but it looked like it was beat out and led to a goal the other way. So certainly have at least some sort of case if you're this Concordia Stinger squad. Now they're going to have to battle back here though, Spencer, as not quite the end. 7 minutes now remaining. Just going to have to fight through the non-calls and the officiating if they want to come out on top.
It's hard to win many games if you're only going to score 1 goal, so let's see if they can get something going here.
Lofted through center. Zapula with it. Good feed for Spaviro, trying to go backhand. Again, Jessamine. Beautiful save from him, and that will draw a crowd as well. Spaviro parked himself right in the crease. And we'll have to wait to see numbers, but I believe it was the big man, Gosselin, coming in and just blowing him up behind the net. Spencer, you had a good look?
Yeah, I did. That was a pretty nice shot to the face. They'll feel that one tomorrow morning. Great chance for Western there, though. Great stop by Jessamine. And they're only going to send, are they going to only send 1 off here?
Looks like it. So
interesting. So Concordia, they'll go to the power play.
And it has been a bit of a long afternoon for Kyle Jessamine. He has taken a bit of contact. You know, you got to give credit to him in that regard. And you see Desrocher having a conversation there with the official, but only Spraviro's going to go. So a big 2-minute power play here. This has to be a goal here. You got to have one if you're Concordia.
You do. And
they will call a timeout. So it's going to be Marc-Andre Elamont, the 5th-year coach of this Concordia squad, going to try to rally his troops. And like we just said, you got to have one.
You got to take advantage. It's really simple. 4-1 game. I mean, they got to score if they want to have any chance. Here's the opportunity for Western. And just a good stop by Jessamine. Good chance, took a little whack.
Well, gorgeous feed from Zapula. And then, like you said, Spaviro trying to go backhand. Parked himself right out front, and that's going to draw a crowd. Jessamine's seen a lot of stick contact this afternoon. And I think this Concordia team had just had enough, as did the officials. So they're going to only take one there. Gosselin got pretty heated in there. And, you know, surprising maybe to see they just take one. But you got to credit the officials. It's been a long afternoon and a big build-up here. So Concordia, they're going to pull the goaltender.
I was thinking if they were going to do that with a 4-1 game, it makes sense. I mean, with, you know, under 7 minutes remaining, you're down 3 goals with a power play. I think you got to do it.
Now Western's going to get a couple free shots here. As you'll see, every time they get the puck, just going to go for that empty cage. No worse for wear if they are to ice it, as they are down a man. So chance for them to maybe add to that lead, but Concordia really needing one here with now an extra couple guys with the 6-on-4. DeLang, there is Highland. Bilodeau and Highland playing catch as Highland tried to go high short side, just over top of the glove of Parasini. Now with it is Sanch. Sanch will walk towards the net, try to go high glove. Parasini, what a save.
Robbed him. That was a great chance there. Parasini, just cannot emphasize it enough how rock solid he has been today. With the amount of shots he has faced.
Well, here's Sanch, just walks it right in, tries to go glove on Parasini. He followed him all the way in, Spencer, and just flashed the leather. Great save from Luke Parasini. Timely save indeed, and Luke Parasini really just the poster boy for timely saves, and another one here this afternoon. Bilodeau will lug it. Olenek fell. Now with it in the corner. Beaulieu skated that one to bad ice before leaving it for Highland, who will send it on for Neal. Neal will walk the line, try to feather it through. Just found the body of Desrocher. Olenek tried to bat it out. Instead, off the body of Highland, and back to work are the Stingers. Big hit on the wall there from Osmanski.
Yeah, he's down.
And it's going to be Sanch who's down. And excuse me, that was actually Bechtel colliding with Sanch. We'll have to get another look at that as Bilodeau and Olenek. Big, heavy whack there from 44 and Red, and Bilodeau looks like he's going to take a trip here, Spencer. Not a smart play. Olenek, he's going to get in your grill, and I believe he's going to go too, so they're going to take both, but really heavy contact there from Bilodeau. And you got to hope that the captain Sanch down. A lot of blood there. And I don't know if he caught the stick up high or maybe the face off the dasher, but going to have to get some repairs indeed, as both, I believe the Western training staff now is going to come out to help out.
You hope he's okay.
Not a great time to lose your captain either. Sanch, second in scoring in this team on the year. And here's another look at it. Yeah, Bechtel just, oh, yep, indeed. He got right up into the facial area, rode him into the boards. And I don't know if maybe the visor came down and cut him, but Bechtel caught him pretty good. And here's the shoving match, and Bilodeau catching Olenek right in the soft spot in the back of the leg. You got to think, if you're the officials taking a look at that, you get a playback. You're only taking one, but nonetheless, Colton Olenek is going to take a trip as well.
It looks like it's Sanch's nose, so.
Yeah, and Sanch is going to come off here, likely going to take a few zippers for his efforts.
He's tough. He's a hockey player.
And that is a good pile of blood down in the Mustang zone. Obviously can't show it, but it is a good pile, very visible from up here. So Philippe Sanch, the captain of the Concordia Stingers, he's going to go off in all sorts of pain. We'll see exactly what the call is, but the officials again conversing, trying to figure out maybe what the right call is. I don't know if they're thinking of calling a penalty on Bechtel. Hit looked clean to me.
Yeah, it's Olenek in the box, so I don't think Bechtel's going to get anything. It looks like they're going to give Concordia a penalty, though, on top of that. Maybe for the slash that Bilodeau put on Olenek. I'm not sure. But I guess we will, as the officials converse, we will find out.
Yeah, here it is again. That hit from the captain, Bechtel, colliding with his captain counterpart in Philippe Sanche, who went down in a hurry. You could tell he was hurt, Spencer, and came back to the bench.
The ref right there, he didn't make a call, but the way they're conversing, you're wondering what they're thinking. Maybe they might call something here on Bechtel.
Well, I'm not sure. Usually they'd bring out the Swiffer and kind of get rid of all that blood down there. I don't know if that's
maybe that guy isn't here today. He couldn't make it into work, so who knows, but hopefully Sanche will be okay. Maybe if they can get that cleaned up, he can come back into the game here with 5.5 minutes left. They need him. He's their captain of the team. He is the guy they rally behind. He has been solid today.
Yeah, well, an interesting story with Philippe Sanche. A trophy actually named after him in Armada, as he played 4 years there. Only 5'5". They deemed him the hardest worker on the team. Actually won the QMJHL Hardest Worker Award just 5 years ago. And as I was saying, the team trophy, the Philippe Sanche Award, named after him on that Armada squad. So a big member of this.
The good thing
Concordia
is that with this long delay, maybe they can have more time to get his nose cleaned up so he can come back into this game. And it looks like they are going to put Bechtel in the box.
Yeah, not quite sure what the call is there. Maybe boarding. I don't know if potentially the stick of Bechtel wrapped around the front of Sanche and got up into the facial area.
Yeah, it is interesting because the ref was right there, and he saw the play himself. He saw it on the replay, and he did not make any clear signal that there was going to be a penalty. So it just, because Sanche was injured and down on the ice for so long, I guess they convened and decided that it was best to make a call.
So the front side official, Bannerman, now explaining to the Mustang bench exactly what has occurred. Up on the board right now, the 38 seconds remaining in that Spaviro penalty. Now it looks like Bechtel's going to go to the box. Still unsure of the call, but as will Olenek and Bilodeau going for the offsetting minors, as those two getting tied up as we showed you prior. But looks like it's going to be a 5-on-3 for at least 38 seconds. They're probably going to keep the goaltender out. So a quick 6-on-3 opportunity for the Stingers. They're going to need at least one here, Spencer, maybe two.
Without a doubt. And also a big thing, you got to think about the three guys that are in the box here for Western. Those are three key players. That's going to really hurt them. So let's see if Concordia can take advantage.
Well, all of those members of the Mustang team sitting in the penalty box do kill penalties. Of course, Bechtel on the ice and Olenek to kill what was a 6-on-4. So now they both in the box, and Spaviro, you can tell he's itching to get out. 38 seconds remaining in his penalty. So big moment here, and as we've seen so often in the past, a great finish here at Thompson Arena.
Yeah. Taking a long time here to get this going, but I guess they just want to make sure that everything's in order, that the refs are notifying the coaches.
As we mentioned before, Coach Clarke Singer looking for his first national berth since '09. And now they will indeed get a scraper to...
That took a really long time. I'm surprised by how, through all of this, they weren't already out here scraping it. So if you're Concordia, this is good. A long time to regroup, discuss what plays you want to run. Coaches on the bench, talking to their guys, both respective bench, trying to figure out what they're going to do. A 6-on-3 opportunity here. This is big.
A lot of time to wait, too, if you're the goaltender and Luke Parasini. You know, you could tell he was feeling it pretty good. Now, I mean, he's not going to be cold, but you got to think that this ices him just a little bit, and the nerves maybe taking over. I don't know. He's been in this position before, but this is a very big moment, and you got to think if Concordia can get shots to him early and often, they might break him on maybe not your typical goal you'd see find its way past Luke Parasini.
Yeah, if you're Concordia, you want a goal quick, so that way you can get rid of the one power play, don't have to, or the one penalty kill, for Western. But then if they can't get a goal within that first 38 seconds, then it's going to go on to 6-on-4, better opportunity for the Stangs. So if you're Concordia, just firing everything at the net, trying to get something through. Parasini, he has been rock solid, so hopefully that this break isn't going to chill him out too much, because it has been a long time since play ended here.
Indeed, the quicker the better. We'll see if Coach LMO draws something up here for his Stingers. Looks like he has indeed, and I don't know, maybe they'll load the one side and try and win it back, but we'll have to see, as finally Philippe Sanchez's blood has been removed from the offensive zone. So we will hopefully get play underway. You're looking at me up here, Spencer. It's been about 10 minutes, and you got somewhere to be, or?
Well, you never know, right? It's a Saturday. Who knows what plans might happen after this game. If Western wins, I can tell you one thing. It certainly will be a party here in the city of London.
Indeed. So back to work. The Zamboni door finally closing. It'll be Beaulieu in to take this draw against Kyle Pettit, the face-off specialist. And Pettit winning that. Nonetheless, the winger Highland pulling it back to the point, and now Neal with it. Neal, Lalonde shooting, he scores! Just as they drew it up, they crisscross, and the puck finds its way back onto the stick of Bradley Lalonde, who makes no mistake rifling that one up and over the glove of Luke Parasini.
That was a heck of a shot from Lalonde. That was a great play by Concordia. Just blasted it home as Parasini was sliding across.
Well, watch here as Lalonde and Highland, they will switch, Lalonde and Neal changes up the angle, and Desrocher out to block that shot. Just missed him, Spencer, and the classic Don Cherry. If you're not going to block it, get out of the way. So Luke Parasini, no chance on that one. And what a beautiful shot from Bradley Lalonde. Now cutting into this lead, 4-2 for the Mustangs.
Concordia pulling the goalie once again, making this a 6-on-4 opportunity for them.
Back to the point for Neal. Neal will stop up as 1:25 remaining in that penalty to the captain, Bechtel. Highland back to the point for Lalonde. Looking for Neal. He'll go to Lalonde again. That pass out of the wheelhouse of Highland. Highland going to the forehand, trying to go blocker side on Parasini, but he shut the door.
Parasini making sure there was no rebound there as Concordia was crashing the net.
Well,
see it on the replay.
Yeah, you see they move it up top and then down to Highland, who cut right to the middle of the ice, getting through Desrocher fairly easily.
Took a nice second whack, but wasn't able to trickle through. Parasini making sure he holds on to that puck tight.
Neal with it at the point. He'll leave there for Lauzon. That could have been a call as Pettit colliding with Neal from behind. He'll give the official a what for, but nothing done, as now 50 seconds remaining in the penalty. Lauzon on there for Beaulieu. Beaulieu trying to drive wide on Core. He rode him into the wall. Lalonde back at the point with it. He'll leave for Neal. Neal, Lalonde will switch spots as Neal trying to feather one through. Got all the way to the net, but Parasini steering it wide. In behind with it. Back to the point for Lalonde. That was off the pass from Lauzon. Shooting was Highland off the back of Core. A couple healthy whacks in there, as finishing the play off was Beaulieu after the whistle, and he was cleared into the ice in a hurry by Osmanski and Cordell James. Just as we've seen, Spencer, everybody taking a dance partner. They will.
Plenty of extracurriculars here. Looks like the puck now, because he took that shot, that was a dumb play, because now the puck is going to be taken out of the zone. Face off, this is good for the Stangs. Let's check out this replay.
Well, here it is.
The whistle clearly gone, and Huther did not like that at all. Nice cross-check.
Well, you watch here Lalonde actually coming in from the point. So if the defenders come in across that ringette line, that'll draw the face-off outside. So you are right, indeed, he did finish that. Not a smart play. outside the zone, though, just because the defenders coming in and obviously to his aid, as the stick of Montgomery won back with the puck. Now it's in for Lauzon. Along the wall, back to Neal. Neal on for Highland. In behind for Lauzon. Lauzon.
Penalty over here. 6-on-5.
He will shoot. Lalonde with it. Big rebound. Lalonde just not able to get much on it, as the stick of, I believe it was Harwell, flying into the stands. Actually, Montgomery.
Somebody will take home a nice souvenir there.
Indeed, so a pretty good battle there, and somebody's stick crumbling. Still can't quite figure out who it was. We'll have to get a replay here.
So part of the stick flew over the glass as
Yes.
it broke, so.
Still not sure whose stick that was, but nonetheless, we'll draw an offensive zone draw here for Concordia with now 3:16 remaining and no bigger chance. You see Grand Array had lined up behind the likes of Beauchamp there, not able to win that draw though. As back to work are the Stingers. Big block there from Pettit as he'll dive, trying to get this puck back across the opposing blue line. With it again is Gosselin. Gosselin, his attempt stopped in its tracks by Stefano. Now on for Pettit. Pettit trying to make a pass. Instead, both him and Stefano will just kill the puck on the wall. Out with it come the Stingers. That pass trying to center was Beauchamp. Going to the net hard, he had Katernakis. James will shoot and he scores. And who else to ice it but Cordell James, the man who gets so many shorthanded goals and a couple empty netters to boot on the year. So Cordell James with what is probably the icer. 5-2 Mustangs. Here it is again. Great movement there from Stefano. And James smartly just stopping up. Lalonde trying to spin and flail the stick out. James, though, not fooled, and he will send that the length of, well, 100 feet into the empty cage. And that is just about curtains for this Concordia team. We'll see if stuff gets silly here, whether or not Concordia keeps trying to push. Just 2 minutes remaining now. Has been a very physical matchup. Lots of extracurriculars after the whistle. That may continue. We will have to see. Bodied in there was Zach Core. He was met by Lauzon. Now Langdon in. Zapula trying to go through the legs. He was in alone, but instead muffed it.
Interesting choice of a play, but I guess 5-2 game. Maybe might as well give something to try.
Well, just classic Zapula. You know, any opportunity he gets to show a little flash, he's going to do that. And if you're this coaching staff, you kind of just got to take the good with the bad. And in a sense, you got to love the creativity. That's what makes him the player he is. As now Turco trying to find it in his skates, the centering pass from Fitzmaurice. Looks like Western trying to push for another. Katernakis with it now. He'll stop up, lost the handle as Fitzmaurice will clear it on for Turco. Look out. Big hit there by Gosselin. He collided with his 15 counterpart in Turco. Katernakis with it again. Sending a wink wide there for the lone Concordia goal scorer, Harwell. Harwell in. Excuse me. Not lone goal scorer. Bit of a brain fart there. As now Fitzmaurice trying to loft that in. Was corralled by Neal. Out comes Concordia. As the Stingers will now close things out here to the Western faithful cheering "Na na." Goodbye, the classic Montreal Canadiens closing chant as Fitzmaurice will send that down into the Concordia zone, and that will do it. Spencer, a gutsy battle from start to finish from these Mustangs. They started it off at the tail end of the first period, 23 seconds remaining. Their first goal on the game, and it just kept going from there.
It did. Western, they played their game. They were physical. Concordia got a lot of shots. I don't know what the total was, but I'd imagine it was well over 40 for this game. Piracini put everything in front of him, made sure that there was no juicy rebounds. The Western Mustangs found ways to score. And yeah, they just dominated this game, getting 4 unanswered goals. Then, Concordia getting late in the third here won, but it didn't matter. Western go on to a 5-2 win and they will be headed to Halifax now for nationals, and we will see you there.
Yeah, to be honest with you, what an incredible feeling getting this win. Honestly, just after being in the dressing room there, one of the most emotional, 5-10 minutes in my 25-year coaching career. This last 3 weeks of the playoffs has been a grind, hard-fought, 3-game threes, losing a heartbreaker last Sunday to Guelph with a trip to nationals on the line. I'm so proud of the group for coming through here today in front of a great home crowd, beating an outstanding Concordia team, and they get a chance to experience what they came here for, which is to play for a University Cup National Championship here in a few days as we head to Halifax on Tuesday.